Welcome to the HFYTales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care. The twin suns of Zathara warmed the vibrant landscape, casting a kaleidoscope of colors that danced across the flora. The human protagonist, Jack, found himself wandering deeper into the heart of the alien world, fueled by a mix of curiosity and an adventurous spirit. He had heard rumors of a hidden royal garden, a place so lush and captivating it was said to be a paradise for celestial beings, and a stunning escape from the rigors of interstellar travel. "Let's hope it's not guarded by any tentacled monsters," he muttered with a grin, the thrill of exploration intoxicating. As he brushed past enormous flowers the size of umbrellas, their sweet fragrances surrounded him like a warm embrace. Suddenly, he stumbled upon an archway of shimmering vines that seemed to hum softly, creating an inviting atmosphere. Peering through, his breath caught in his throat, realizing he'd walked into a moment straight out of his wildest dreams. There she was, the alien princess, Eliza, with iridescent skin that sparkled like 1,000 stars against the backdrop of the lush garden, and long flowing hair that cascaded like a waterfall imbued with otherworldly charm. She stood amidst the blossoms, her delicate features lit by the warm sunlight. Time seemed to halt as their eyes locked. It was an electric moment, one that felt both absurd and awe-inspiring, as if destiny itself had woven this encounter. Eliza, feeling his gaze, turned to him, curiosity piqued. "What brings a human to my garden?" Her voice was melodic, like a gentle breeze under which secrets coiled and uncoiled, but her eyes sparkled with mischief that hinted at her adventurous nature. Jack cleared his throat, the air thick with excitement. "Just passing through, I couldn't help but notice this stunning garden and its enchanting resident. In fact, just looking at you makes me wet," he blurted out, his nervous laughter betraying his boldness. Her lips curled into an amused smile that was contagious, lighting up her entire demeanor. "Flattery will get you everywhere, you know. But I must warn you, this garden is under royal protection, including from cheeky humans like yourself." "Ah, so you prefer your company to be less cheeky?" he replied, raising an eyebrow in mock seriousness. "I can tone it down. How about less charm and more, head-scratching awkwardness?" "Clearly that would be a loss for everyone," she laughed, her laughter bubbling like a soft stream while brightening the space around them. They bantered back and forth, discovering mutual intrigue and playful competitiveness that felt both invigorating and familiar. Jack cracked several jokes about Earth's animals, while Eliza enthralled him with tales of floating jelly beasts and singing flowers from her home planet, a vivid contrast that showcased their differences yet bridged their worlds remarkably. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, painting the world in hues of purple and gold, their conversations flowed freely, revealing both humorous anecdotes and hints of vulnerability lying beneath the layers of their initial curiosity. Eliza admitted how she often felt caged in her royal duties, while Jack shared stories of his less-than-glamorous past as an adventurer on Earth, including comical encounters he'd had and the mischief he accidentally found himself in. The encounter felt surreal yet completely natural. The environmental noises faded away as laughter and flirtation took center stage, creating an unbreakable bond that was only just beginning. Bright colors blurred into the background as they began to examine each other beyond their initial curiosity. Both knew this ephemeral moment was the beginning of something profound, something both silly and meaningful woven into the fabric of their beings. In the serene confines of the royal garden, Eliza noticed the way Jack cocked his head, truly enraptured by her stories. "So you guys have royalty too?" he asked, chuckling as he recounted tales of ridiculous elves and pompous princes from Earth mythology. The casual comparison made her chuckle, the warmth spreading in the gentle embrace of their connection. "Yes," she replied with a twinkle in her eye, soothed by his laughter. "But our customs are a bit more complicated. For instance, we exchange a token of affection during our courtships, a ceremonial item that symbolizes deep commitment and mutual respect." "Ha, nothing like that at home," Jack laughed, nervously scratching the back of his neck. "We just send flowers. Or tacos work too. But just looking at you makes me feel all fuzzy inside." Tacos? Eliza questioned, giggling uncontrollably. Do they possess magical properties? Only if they're filled with melted cheese. He pitched his voice dramatically, leading her into another fit of laughter. The way the two of them interacted was easy and light, devoid of the pressures from their vastly different worlds. Curious about each other's customs, they engaged in a series of playful challenges that allowed their cultures to intertwine. Eliza then attempted to teach him a simple Zetharan greeting dance, twisting her body in beautiful, flowing movements that made every step enchanting. Jack, on the other hand, attempted a human dab, the kind that made Eliza double over in laughter, doubling the joyous chaos in the garden. Seriously, you look ridiculous, she exclaimed between breaths, clutching her stomach in mirth. Well, at least I'm graceful in my own clumsy way, he retorted with an exaggerated flair, their laughter mingling like harmonious music beneath the alien starlit sky. The light-hearted affection between them was palpable, a blend of teasing and wonder that encircled them like a gentle embrace. As they continued their cultural exchange, Eliza shared her upcoming Coronation event with an exciting sparkle in her eyes. You should come. It will be the highlight of Zathara, and besides, who could resist? She suggested, her excitement spilling over and bringing out a lovely blush on her cheeks. Me? At a regal event like that? I'd stand out like a sore thumb. Jack laughed nervously, picturing himself in the grand hall surrounded by lords and ladies adorned in jewels and regal robes. That's precisely the point, isn't it? Every royal needs a bit of scandal. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, they found themselves sharing their hopes and dreams. Eliza wished for freedom beyond the predictable confines of court life, while Jack longed for adventure with meaning, a purpose to accompany his travels beyond just surviving. Just looking at her radiance, he realized how deeply he yearned for her presence. Their shared dreams sparked additional inspiration, and beside the absurdity of their differences, there was an undeniable chemistry that neither could ignore. It made their playful exchanges electric, and as they shared their laughter under the glimmering stars, they both realized they were drawn to each other in ways that felt more than just spontaneous curiosity, blooming into a tantalizing connection that was the heart of their unexpected friendship. The next day, Eliza woke with excitement swirling within her, her heart racing as she prepared for Jack's visit to the Grand Palace. Together, they would explore deeper regions of royal grounds, all while evading her overly watchful guards, who had grown increasingly suspicious of her restlessness. Dressed in a flowing gown that shimmered like a galaxy in the morning light, her ethereal appearance only added to the air of mystery surrounding her. Ready for a royal escapade? She greeted him, eyes shimmering with a sense of adventure, as she met Jack outside the garden's entrance. Lead the way, Your Highness, he declared, bowing dramatically like a courtier in some long-forgotten play. Eliza rolled her eyes but couldn't suppress the smile that spread across her face. You're incorrigible. With laughter trailing behind them, they slipped into the maze of ornate arches and lush corridors that constituted the palace. The grandeur of the palace was breathtaking. Gemstones embedded in the walls reflected surreal light, creating an illusion of a starry sky indoors, which made Jack feel like he had traversed into a fantastical dream. As they ventured deeper, Eliza's infectious spirit matched the marvels around her. They stumbled upon the Hall of Mirrors, where reflections swirled in mesmerizing patterns that captivated both their imaginations. This place is incredible, Jack marveled, watching his own reflection morph and change into whimsical forms. Hold on, I must be more dignified for this, Eliza teased, posing with exaggerated elegance in front of her own shimmering reflection. Jack could hardly contain his laughter, attempting to mimic her poses with his own tacky interpretations. Eliza challenged him to a pose-off where the winner would receive the unofficial title of most dignified. As they twisted and contorted themselves into ridiculous forms, gasps echoed from the gathering guards until it was too late for them to hide. Surprise registered across the stoic faces of Eliza's protectors as they witnessed the royal hijinks unfolding. What's the meaning of this?" one of the guards asked, glaring at Jack thoroughly, suspicion evident on his face. Eliza exchanged a quick glance with Jack. Her heart raced in a mix of rebellion and exhilaration. "A cultural exchange in progress," she replied playfully, waving at the guards, her heart pounding with the thrill of their amusement. Jack couldn't suppress his goofy grin. "Exactly. I was just about to show her my serious diplomat pose." He struck a ridiculous expression and posture, shimmying his shoulders with enthusiasm. Eliza burst into laughter, the entire garden shimmering with positivity. Even the guards couldn't help but crack smiles despite the absurdity unfolding before them. In that moment, the tension lifted completely, allowing them a light-hearted reprieve. "Very well, but keep it dignified," one guard said with mock seriousness, ushering them on their way. But Eliza knew this wouldn't last long. The late afternoon adventure led them outside the palace walls to explore the enchanted grotto, rumored to hold the secrets of ancient celestial beings, which made every step feel charged with magic. As they wandered through the breathtaking nature surrounding it, Jack gathered bits of shining stones for Eliza, each with its own tale yearning to be unleashed. "This one is a wish stone, perfect for making dreams come true," he proclaimed, presenting her with a glimmering blue rock. Her eyes widened in mock incredulity. "How do you know? Is that typical Earth folklore?" "I don't. But it sounds good, right?" He grinned devilishly, their easy laughter intertwining as they ventured further into the gentle embrace of the grotto. The grotto was stunning. Cascading waterfalls and vibrantly glowing plants created an atmosphere that felt both harmonious and surreal. They indulged in silly challenges. Jack attempted to catch small, sparkly fish swimming in the water with his bare hands, while Eliza demonstrated how Zetherans could communicate with the flora around them, calling forth blooming flowers with a gentle whisper. "Show off," Jack teased. But it was all in good fun as they reveled in their playful camaraderie, enjoying the miracle of connection. As dusk fell, painting the sky in strokes of deep indigo, they laid among the glowing flowers, laughing at the day's escapades. It was then, under the soft rustle of nearby leaves, the moments transformed into silence, a comfortable stillness charged with unspoken emotions. Glances between the two turned longer. Smiles conveyed deeper meanings as the world around them faded into the background. "So what a day," Jack whispered, breaking the stillness, his tone growing more tender. Eliza turned her head, their faces mere inches apart in the moonlit glow. "And to think, it started with a garden encounter that spiraled into adventure," she mused, feeling just how remarkable it all was. "Maybe I should be thanking that royal guard for not restraining you. Or perhaps I should thank your adventurous spirit," Jack replied softly, their gazes locked, the connection between them reigniting in an inexplicable spark. Days turned into weeks, and Eliza and Jack became inseparable, weaving a tapestry of shared experiences that enriched their lives. They explored Zathara not just as the princess and the human, but as two souls, navigating the intricate turns of their respective worlds. Their playful rivalry and delightful escapades turned into late-night conversations filled with vulnerability, longing gazes, and laughter echoing through the palace corridors. The day of the coronation arrived, a momentous event heralding Eliza's ascendance as queen. Despite the festive atmospheres filled with radiant colors and joyful music, Eliza felt an undercurrent of anxiety that twisted her stomach into knots. Surrounded by elaborate customs, rigid traditions, and a sea of eager suitors, her heart raced, especially knowing that Jack would be by her side, watching from the crowd, ready to support her. "Are you ready for this?" Jack asked, his teasing tone giving way to more serious undertones as he adjusted the fit of his formal attire. "Not really," Eliza admitted, pacing beneath the elegant chandeliers that adorned the ceiling, her fingers tugging at intricate lace cuffs. "All these expectations. It feels suffocating." "Remember, it's your day. Shine the way you want to," he encouraged, a warm smile lighting his face, a comfort amid the chaos of royal life. As the ceremony commenced, the grand hall filled with guests adorned in exquisite outfits of honor and respect. Guests gathered to see the new queen, yet Eliza felt trapped within the gilded norms of tradition. She forced herself to smile through the scripted ritual, but her thoughts kept drifting to Jack and their heartfelt conversations, longing for a taste of the freedom they had explored. Jack found himself growing restless, watching as Eliza engaged with potential suitors, each one more absurd than the last in their extravagant attempts to impress her. Carefully crafted compliments swirled around him like vapid perfume, making him want to shout out the ridiculous remarks that had crossed his mind since arriving. Feeling a sudden surge of courage, he bolted forward, sweeping out of the crowd during a particularly extravagant performance when an amusing mishap occurred. As a nobleman nearly tripped, bringing laughter to the crowd, Jack seized the moment. He dashed to the stage, using the distraction to leap into action, a glimmer of mischief shining in his eyes. "All right, everyone, let's see how you really honor the princess," he shouted, drumming up excitement amidst the skeptical gazes. He began an exaggerated, zany dance, replicating the performances he'd seen previously, but with his own over-the-top flair. A mix of disbelief and laughter erupted from the guests as they watched the unexpected spectacle unfold. Eliza's eyes widened, amusement flooding through her as she caught sight of Jack's antics. The crowd soon joined him in laughter, breaking the tension and easing her spirits. It was a liberating moment, allowing her to feel free amidst the constraints of the royal ceremony. Encouraged by the joy around her, Eliza joined him, twirling her gown and inviting everyone to partake in the impromptu celebration. As laughter resonated throughout the hall, the two shared glances filled with warmth and amusement, their connection fraying the ropes of tradition that bound them. Night approached, carrying with it a sense of transformation. Eliza and Jack slipped away from the bustling throngs of guests and sought solace on a quiet balcony that overlooked the moonlit gardens. The stars twinkled above them, casting a dazzling glow on their faces. "I can't believe you did that," Eliza exclaimed breathlessly, still chuckling at the carefree fun Jack had ignited. "You stole the ceremony." "Well, someone had to break the suffocating formalities," Jack replied, leaning against the balcony rail, his heart swelling with pride. Eliza felt a surge of gratitude toward him, finding it exhilarating that he would stand up for her happiness. "For a fleeting moment it felt like I could breathe again," Eliza confessed, her voice softening, revealing her inner turmoil. The weight of her responsibilities seemed far heavier now than when they began. "I'm glad. You deserve to be free, especially tonight," he murmured, taking a step closer, his presence wrapping around her like a comforting blanket, a balm to the anxiety that pressed upon her. Eliza turned to him, feeling a mix of emotions bubbling to the surface that she had desperately tried to hide. "Jack, you make me feel so alive. Yet as the days pass, I fear that I will lose this newfound freedom and the connection we've forged." "Eliza, follow your heart. Don't let this world box you into a life you don't wish to live," he urged, his intensity amid the stillness nearly tangible. The night held its breath around them as their gazes collided, and the distance drew ever smaller. "Of course I want to be happy," Eliza whispered, vulnerability glistening in her eyes as she revealed her most intimate fears. "But I also have duties to my people. It's not solely my life anymore." Her voice trembled slightly as she spoke. Feeling the weight of her words settle around them, Jack nodded, frustration battling against the rising urge to pull her into his arms, to promise her everything she longed for. "So, you want to let tradition cage you? You want to forsake what is real for what is expected?" I don't know." Tears pricked at her eyes, vulnerability cracking her royal facade as she confessed her heart's longing. "You make it sound like a dream, but how can I throw everything away?" "Eliza, look at your heart. It holds your truth. A truth I see shine when you smile, when you laugh. You deserve to make choices that reflect who you truly are," he urged gently, reaching for her hands, a gesture of unwavering support and tenderness. With quiet determination, she searched his gaze, feeling the depth of his conviction pull her forward. "Perhaps I could find a way. I want that kind of freedom," she murmured thoughtfully, every word charged with newfound bravery. As time crept on, they exchanged glances filled with resolve and affection. They stood together, poised on the edge of a new beginning, transfixed with the blissful dream of a future unencumbered by others' expectations. In the days that followed their fateful kiss, The atmosphere between Jack and Eliza shifted from playful to dangerously charged with desire. Their once light-hearted interactions danced perilously close to profound attraction, igniting an irreversible connection that left them yearning for more. Amidst the chaos of coronation preparation, the gravity of their emotions bore down upon them, each stolen glance holding a weight that felt almost tangible. As Eliza prepared for her coronation, a day meant to define her life entirely, nerves coursed through her like fluttering butterflies. She felt torn between her emerging identity as queen and her undeniable feelings for Jack, a wild adventurer who inspired her heart. How could she fully embrace her responsibilities while having to hide what was blooming between them? "Must you worry so much about what others think?" Jack confronted her gently, concern shadowing his features as he watched her pace. "I wish it were that simple." Eliza sighed, anguish spilling out as she tugged at her collar, feeling trapped amidst the layers of royal expectation. "This is not just about me. I have duties to my people, traditions we cannot abandon." "Yet you're abandoning your happiness. Is that what you want?" he pressed, taking a step closer, urgency seeping into his words. The air between them crackled with tension. "But how can I throw aside my duties and still keep my rightful place?" Eliza lamented, crossing her arms defensively, feeling the walls of her own limitations closing in. Jack took a deep breath, steadying himself. "Eliza, you have a choice. You can navigate your path and honor who you wish to become. What really matters is your happiness." His firm tone met her uncertainty, demanding attention. She hesitated, the weight of responsibility pulling at her heart. But the connection they shared burned brightly, challenging her own beliefs. "Of course, I want to be happy," Eliza confessed quietly, her cheeks flushing. "But I also need to be a good queen. It's not solely my life anymore." Feeling the weight of her words settle like a fog between them, Jack nodded, frustration battling against the rising urge to wrap her in his arms, to promise her everything she longed for. "So you want to let tradition cage you? You want to forsake what feels real for what is expected?" I don't know." Tears pricked at her eyes, vulnerability cracking her royal facade as she revealed her heart's longing. "You make it sound so tempting, but how can I throw away everything I've known?" "Eliza, look at your heart. Even amidst the chaos, it knows what it wants. A truth I see in your radiance, the way you laugh and embrace life. You deserve choices that reflect who you are," he urged gently, reaching for her hands, the electrical warmth beneath his fingers igniting a fire of longing within her chest. She searched his gaze, his passionate sincerity beckoning. "Perhaps I could find a way," she murmured thoughtfully, hope rising like a phoenix within her, the flame of bravery slowly igniting. With newfound courage, Eliza set out to face her road ahead. The morning of her coronation approached with a dizzying mix of anticipation and dread. She donned royal attire adorned with glimmering gemstones, her heart pounding as she sat straight against the luxurious fabric, its weight heavier than before. At the grand ceremony, surrounded by vibrant colors and the lavish adornments of eagerly awaiting dignitaries, Eliza stood before her people as they gathered to witness her ascendance as queen. As the procession unfolded, she was swept away by the music and excitement, but remained painfully aware of her own conflicted desires. Eliza glanced at Jack across the sea of onlookers. Amidst the pomp and pageantry, he held her gaze steady, his expression a mix of encouragement and pride. The duel of presences between them sent sparks arcing amidst the chaos. Suddenly, Eliza broke free from the encroaching constraints of her title, and her heart surged with determination. "Esteemed guests, royal dignitaries," she began, her voice steady yet filled with both power and vulnerability. "Today, I vow to lead through compassion, innovation, and acceptance." Jack's heart swelled with pride as she continued, feeling more alive amidst the cadence of voices. "I choose to forge a path defined not merely by traditional customs, but by authenticity and sincerity." A ripple of surprise spread through the crowd as murmurs erupted, the disbelief echoing through the hall. "I declare my intent to marry for love," her voice trembled with emotion, "and I will not be bound by tradition alone." "Yes," Jack shouted, excitement bubbling inside him as joy danced on the edges of his heart. The aftermath of Eliza's defiant speech sent shockwaves throughout Zathara, igniting fervent discussions that echoed through the royal court. The chamber of dignitaries buzzed with disbelief, exchanging opinions like flurries of bright butterflies, each thought creating ripples of confusion spiraling from Eliza's bold proclamation. Days passed as news rippled through the planet, and suitors abandoned their pursuits, stunned by the newfound autonomy of the princess. People began to rally around Eliza's vision of progress. "A queen for the people!" echoed through the bustling streets, igniting a sense of hope that fluttered in the breeze. In these overwhelming times, Eliza sought refuge amidst the beauty of her gardens, taking a moment to breathe deeply. Jack remained by her side through it all, offering unwavering support. "You did it," he beamed, heartfelt admiration sparkling in his eyes as they strolled hand in hand. "Thanks to you, I couldn't have done it without your encouragement," Eliza replied, feeling profound gratitude swell within her. "The real battle lies ahead," Jack said, his expression now solemn, acknowledging the challenges that awaited them. "Your family will be less than pleased with all of this." Eliza took a deep breath, determination blooming within her. "Then we'll face them head on." Gathering her strength, she set forth to confront the royal family, stepping into the court prepared for confrontation. Taking a moment, she inhaled deeply, centering herself amidst the gathering storm. Eliza spoke with authenticity about her love for Jack, explaining her intentions to lead in a way that honored the hearts and dreams of her people. This was her choice, and it stood firmly at the center of her regal identity. As she began to proclaim her vision of equality, addressing both noble and commoner with unabashed sincerity, the Queen Mother stood stiff, initially furious. Yet as Eliza pressed on, she slowly realized the importance of her daughter's bravery. "To thine own self be true," she murmured, allowing fear to seep out and acceptance to bloom. With newfound resolve, the Queen Mother and the Council began to shift under Eliza's gentle yet firm leadership. Innovations and ideas overflowed as Eliza and her family turned tradition on its head, embracing love, equality, and unity, while melding cultures from both Earth and Zathara in wondrous harmony. Throughout this, Jack remained a steadfast figure beside her, nurturing the growth of new ideas. Together, they traveled the realm, sharing their story and igniting hope among citizens. From the royal gardens to the floating jelly beasts, the essence of joy rippled wherever they went. One evening, under the stars twinkling like diamonds scattered across a velvet sky, Jack turned serious. "This journey is ours, but I want to make something official," he announced firmly, holding out a glimmering emerald ring, a tangible testament to their bond. "Eliza, will you be my partner forever?" Surprise flooded her heart, followed quickly by sheer elation. "Yes, 1,000 times yes," she exclaimed, joy radiating through her smile as they embraced. With every stolen glance and shared laugh, they entwined their destinies. Each moment of connection resonated with the promise of love and adventure, demanding a place within the lore of Zathara. They slipped the ring onto her finger, a symbol of hope and courage for their new journey. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Eliza and Jack looked toward their future, filled with laughter, love, and untold adventures lying ahead. Excitement twinkled in their eyes like the stars above, illuminating the path to the extraordinary life they would forge together. "Together, we'll create a tale greater than even the legends," Eliza laughed, her heart overflowing with joy. She nestled against him, tethered by shared dreams pulsating vibrantly. The kingdom of Zathara embraced its new era, transformed by the love and courage exhibited by their queen. Festivals adorned the streets, celebrating individuality and unity after decades of restrictive traditions. The air was filled with laughter, joy resonating through markets where diverse vendors showcased their wares. In this vibrant environment, Jack and Eliza thrived. Upon visiting various regions, they shared moments filled with humor, adventure, and passion, their bond growing stronger with each milestone. Jack's playful nature invigorated Eliza, allowing her to explore risks she hastily brushed aside. Eliza taught Jack the intricacies of Zatharan customs, while he enamored her with stories of Earth, excruciatingly embarrassing mishaps woven with threads of laughter. One serene afternoon, they strolled through the royal gardens, flowers blooming vibrantly around them, creating a tapestry of color. Eliza stopped by a mesmerizing fountain where water danced joyously, reflecting the light of the setting sun. She felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. The decision to embrace her feelings and break away from tradition had irrevocably transformed their lives. "Can you even believe how far we've come?" Eliza asked softly, tracing her fingers along the water's edge. "Not at all. Who would have thought a rogue human could stumble upon a stunning alien princess?" Jack replied with a twinkling grin, his playful tone enhancing the warmth enveloping them. "Stumbling isn't quite accurate. If I recall, you practically announced your arrival with a comedic dance," Eliza teased, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "Touché. I'll take that as a compliment," he laughed, wrapping an arm around her shoulders, drawing her close in a heartbeat of intimacy. As dusk deepened into night, Jack looked into her eyes, an earnest glimmer reflected in their depths. "You've changed everything, Eliza. You've uplifted a kingdom's spirits. I'm amazed every day by your strength and passion, and I'm honored to be by your side. And I'm grateful for you, Jack. Being with you has made me realize what it means to truly live," she whispered, deeply touched by the sincerity shining in his gaze. "But," he added whimsically, "you do realize you're now committed to being my partner in every wild adventure I can dream up, right?" "I wouldn't have it any other way," she said warmly, her determination unwavering. "There are many more adventures ahead, and together we'll navigate them." As they stood side by side beneath a wide canvas of stars, light intertwined with the promises of tomorrow, each dream, each excursion melding into a love story uniquely their own,